Hey everybody, what's going on? Bahroo here, back inside of Borderlands, the pre-sequel. And today, we're going to be talking about campaign DLC. Right. People have been messaging me on Twitter, on YouTube about all this stuff about, oh my god, there's only one campaign DLC, what do I do? How do I do it? And to respond to that, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the fact there's only one campaign DLC. Now, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Before we get into this commentary, I'm going to ask you one question. Now, granted, Gearbox may not be the best answer to this, but would you prefer quantity or quality? That's what I want to ask before we really get into this. Would you prefer quality or quantity? Would you prefer a larger DLC that is as good as Tiny Tina's DLC? Or would you prefer a bunch of DLCs that have a lot of bad parts in it? Cough, Hammerlock DLC. And that's the kind of point that I want to drive here. Now, do I know that this DLC is going to be good? No. Do I think that it's going to be, like, so good that it's going to make the DLC, or make TPS one of the best games in the world? No. But to say that something is going to be bad simply based off its number, I feel is a bit weird, to say the least. I feel like we should give it a little bit of a chance here before we start killing it. Now, I realize TPS is killing itself, but, you know, I like to hold out hope that it's not going to be complete garbage. Or at least, that's just me. I mean, I enjoy Borderlands at the end of the day. It's fun for me, and, you know, people seem to be watching my videos, so they must be enjoying Borderlands or something. I'm not entirely sure. I don't quite understand how the things work. But I would assume that if we got a good DLC, that we would have a good time. Because Borderlands is a very unique game. There aren't many like it outside of Destiny, and that game is very hit or miss depending on how you look at it. Not for everybody. So, just like Borderlands isn't for everybody. You're not going to get a bunch of Call of Duty players like, yeah, need me some Borderlands, man. I gots to get my Borderlands fix. No, we have a bunch of Borderlands fans who are diehard who have been wanting to play more Borderlands. So that's what we've been getting. So to say that this DLC is going to be a failure simply based off its number feels a little off to me. And that's why I want to talk to you all about it. And I want to see that in the comments below. How exactly do you feel about a large DLC versus, you know, multiple DLCs? Which do you think is more beneficial? Granted, there might be overall less things to do, but if the quality of those things to do is good, then we'll have a great time. We'll have an amazing time. And like I said, let's look at the DLCs for Borderlands 2. The campaign ones, the ones that were on the season pass. We have Pirate. It added a boss that nobody liked. On launch day, everyone hated Hyperius, and the story was all right, but it had a couple good weapons in it. It had the Sandhawk. Everyone likes themselves the Sandhawk. I like me a Sandhawk. Those are things. Let's take a look at the next DLC, Torg, which if you remove the voice acting, probably one of the worst DLCs. Well, it does have Pyro Pete, who's a giant loot pinata, which is what we want, and the Torque machines. So you got a campaign DLC that we use 1% of. Let's see. Then we have Hammerlock DLC. No one likes that. People buy it for one thing, the interfacer. That's about it. So we've got an entire DLC dedicated to one weapon. And then we've got Tina DLC, which was amazing in pretty much every regard. It had unique loot that people wanted. A lot of it, actually. It had an alright boss fight that's buggy as hell, but everyone seems to love it. I actually, you know, kind of enjoy going through it as well, just because I like to see how is the AI gonna derp out today. And then, you know, there's the Headhunter packs, which are Headhunter packs that just kind of tied us over to Borderlands pre-sequel. So how exactly do we judge what exactly a campaign DLC is worth? This is going to be a $10 campaign DLC. How many hours of enjoyment do you need to get out of a campaign $10 DLC for it to be worth it in your eyes? That's my question to you all. What would you prefer? Quality or quantity? I know we're not really going too far in depth because we don't really know much about the campaign DLC. Like I said, it could be terrible. It could be the worst thing in the world. It could just not live up to any sort of expectation you might give it. Or it might be the best. That's why I'm leaving this sort of open-ended, this commentary. I want to hear your thoughts on it. Now, a lot of people said, well, I'm done with TPS, it's terrible. Which is fine. You know, if you want to be done with the game, be done with it. Doesn't mind much to me for me. You know, you play the games that bring you enjoyment. I still get enjoyment out of Borderlands. A lot of people seem to still also get enjoyment out of Borderlands. We just want some more content to work with. So this content to work with might be the thing that we're looking for. But people are hung up on the number. So I want to ask one last time. This will be the end of the commentary, so let's go ahead and ask now. What do you think about quality over quantity of DLC? Would you prefer one large pack, let's say double the size of a typical DLC, that is awesome, but you only have that, or you have 4 packs, which are hit or miss on a bunch of different aspects, but you've got a lot more content to work with? How would you look at things? You guys let me know in the comment section below. I'll be looking forward to reading through all of them. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, help support me in what I do, and don't forget to subscribe for future content. Again, that'll be all from me today, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later.